I finished the Moscow University, and then I finished postgraduate courses. Then I was the scientific researcher in the Moscow University, and only then I switched to computer graphics. So my background is mostly educational and scientific background. And when I first time saw Maya, I realized that is kind of game, kind of perfect game to play with math, with physics, and of course it was my favorite module, Maya Dynamics. So since 1996, from beta 4, I just played with Maya almost every day. The important idea about Maya is it's just one idea: just think before doing something. And so the Maya way of thinking is to get the logic. So the first time I saw Maya, I tried to get the logic. It works, and I taught a lot of students, and I didn't teach them how to do these particular effects. I teach them how to understand how to do these effects. So the main thing is understanding the logic of the software of Maya, of what you are doing in Maya. So I can even show you something. This is the book. This is not two books. This is the 2-volume book. And I wrote this book after 7 years of teaching people Maya. And in the book the book is not about the making exercises with Maya, but the book is about thinking, how to think about paint effects, how to think about particles, how to think, how to understand things. And there are some advices how to investigate some things. Not to create, but investigate, and then you can create something yourself. The main example of good thinking is working with Maya nodes, with Maya node-based architecture. Because most of the people just bought the book or got the DVD and try to follow instruction, and they make some things on screen. And they do not discover there is something behind the screen, behind the UI of Maya. And behind the UI is a lot of nodes, and if you go to into the hypershade, you will see the guts of the file you are working on, and you can see some connections, and you can try to play and disconnect and connect them again. You mix node in some weird way, and you will see what will happen. This is the way of investigation. It's kind of like working in a laboratory. You just try to mix things, make experiments. So experimenting, this is the way of thinking with Maya. And of course, as long as Maya have such nice instrument as a hypergraph, and you can mix the nodes, you can tweak some behaviors with expressions, and you can mix all the things together. This is the way of making like scientific research with Maya. My last favorite trick, it has a short preamble story. And last January we were sitting on the beach with Paolo after some windsurf sessions, and we are talking how can we improve our tips and tricks. And we thought about paint effect stuff, and we also discussed the modern rendering possibilities in the world. And we start to talk about point cloud based renderers and the possibilities for render paint effects, because there is no so many ways to render paint effects, only Maya renderer and some curve rendering in RenderMan on 3D Light. And then I got the idea, maybe we can present paint effect stamps as a points to render them in the other software, and the points in Maya, the lightest point in Maya are particles. And I got the idea to convert paintfx to particles, but slightly intelligent way, not like polygons, but paintfx stamps to particles. And I needed to learn the Maya API to get the information from the paintfx. And finally I wrote the plugin which is convert paintfx to particles, and these particles, they inherit all the information: the size, interradius per particle, the color from the strokes to the RGBPP, the transparency, and so on, so on, so on. So I can take the tree, paintfx tree, and convert it to the particle tree, and render it as a smoke, as a blobby, as a sprites, as a points, even as a software tubes, to make some funny effects. And I can even make some simulation with that particles, because my particles is my favorite part of Maya. So now I found a way to convert one of my favorite part, paintfx, to another my favorite part, to particles, and play with them. And talking about pitfalls, my main advice: if you can stay away from Maya dynamics, stay away. There is two issues. First, it's kind of a lot of underwater stones there. You should know so many things to make it works, so it can make you upset, and it's hard work. So if you can stay away from hard work, stay away. And another issue is that if you get into Maya dynamic, it will be very difficult to quit. Yeah, you will play with Maya dynamic endlessly, and it will be very, very difficult to give up. And so it's another issue. So stay away from Maya dynamic, otherwise you will be dynamical maniac.